Well, with the legalization of marijuana coming this year, the city of Lloydminster has taken a bold step when it comes to smoking in the city. Smoking and vaping will no longer be allowed in public. The bylaw that was passed on Monday includes marijuana as well as tobacco.
So what we did was we added cannabis to this existing smoking bylaw. So there's no smoking in public places within the city. Now the definition of public places is an actual place versus the park as an example and things like that.
Public places will include public events, commercial property, and public gathering places, including Bud Miller Park.
5 meters, I believe, is the measurement from the entrance of buildings, and certainly we will hope that it's adjacent to rather than in that mainstream 5 meters entering. So I believe those sites, and for people that can currently smoke, will definitely know those around the city's public facilities.
Cities like Camrose, Edmonton, Fort McMurray, and St. Albert are also looking into similar laws. Calgary and Banff have already announced that they will only focus on marijuana and not tobacco. Lloydminster RCMP want to remind you, if you have tinted windows on your vehicle, it could result in a hefty fine. If you have tint on your windshield or side windows, you could end up getting a ticket, a vehicle defect notice, or even your car towed from the road. The RCMP say it's important to have a clear window for the officer's safety when making traffic stops.
One of the most dangerous things that we do inside of policing is a traffic stop. We don't know who it is that we're going to go and see, or what might be going on, where that individual might be coming from or going to, and we don't know any of those details. So being able to see inside the window, see what's going on, and get a clearer picture to help us figure out what the risk is with that.
Constable Kersinger adds that it's also important for your own safety as well.
When involved in an accident, we want those pieces of glass to shatter into small little shards instead of larger ones that can cause greater damage, or even being able to make eye contact with another driver or a pedestrian as you're trying to cross the street.
Fines for tint are $78 in Alberta and $115 in Saskatchewan. Well, child cancer survivor Jared Russell is in the early stage of his 3rd year participating in the Great Cycle Challenge. While Mother Nature hasn't made the exercise easier, the cause helping kids living his experience continues to drive him and his family, especially with donations for Kid Cancer's Butt taking place tomorrow. Our Josh Ryan has more.
Jared Russell had a slippery start to the Great Cycle Challenge this spring, with wind and rain keeping him indoors.
I looking out my window every morning saying, no, it's windy again. The stationary bike is not as good as riding around town.
While accruing more than 1,000 kilometers will take some catching up over the next few weeks, fundraising is already off to a faster pace than previous years, including $2,000 coming from the Rotary Club.
Presenting at their meeting there on the one Monday just helped to build the awareness for Jared's cause throughout the community. The more that we get him out there and that people know why he's doing what he's doing, it just benefits the cause all around.
Jared and his family have helped raise more than $50,000 for families dealing with child cancer, and his heart goes out to every letter he's received.
This one kid just died. He was 2 years old, a brain tumor, and I just cry. All the money helps, just to save the children and the families going through it.
This year's jersey from the Sick Kids Foundation was designed by one of its youngsters.
And it's one way to get them happy kind of thing, just to enjoy their life in the hospital.
His family remains joyous in seeing the purpose he has found in the Cycle Challenge, and they'll continue to help him support kids battling the disease he was able to conquer.
For us as a family, makes things really easy because now he's happy, right? And it gives him something to do, to know that there's kids battling like he did. It's a cause that he just thinks is valuable, and so for him to get up every morning in the rain and the wind and just be able to ride for kids, I mean, that's what it's about.
Josh Ryan, Newcap News.
Well, grade 7 students at St. Joseph Elementary are getting ready to step out of their comfort zone and enter high school. And as we see in this Beyond the Classroom, these students were treated to a special afternoon as they get ready for this next chapter.
In just
just a few weeks, these grade 7 students will be getting ready for high school. And Wednesday afternoon was a chance for them to say goodbye to their elementary school.
Just to know that we've appreciated having them over the years. A lot of them have been here since kindergarten, and a lot of teachers have watched them grow up since they were 5. And, you know, we loved having them here and the leaders that they become in grade 7 and all that they do for our schools.
While the transition can be a scary one, staff have been preparing students for this next big step.
It's really sad. I mean, I like school, so I don't really want to leave, but yeah, high school will be fun.
They've given us harder work than we're used to, and we have to be more responsible.
And we work a lot with them at the end of the year, trying to teach them more independence and get them ready for having 8 different teachers next year versus just 1.
And while the students can always go back to visit, the lessons they've learned here since kindergarten will help them with what's to come.
We teach them a lot about just trusting the process if it seems really difficult at the time, just having faith and, leaning on God or their friends and such to get them through that time. And
Michaela Henschel, Newcap News.
This is Newcap Sports.
Well, an incredible Barons girls rugby season didn't translate to a provincial medal in 2018. Not exactly the way the team had expected to end its season, but the girls weren't given a fair shake before the tournament began, and it's got one of our Gloves members on the panel very heated, and it won't take you long to figure out which one. Here's Lance Phillips and Chris King.
Thank you very much. Coming up with the Gloves Are Off, Kinger, we're talking Nick Nurse for the Toronto Raptors. We're talking LeBron, what's going to happen with that guy. We've got Josh Ryan, and he's got a video about dairy products.
Interesting, to say the least.
Yes. But first, let's start off on a local level. The Lloydminster Barons girls rugby team went to provincials this past weekend, ranked 7th. They had a record of 19-0, scored nearly 900 points over the course of the season, and they lost to a number 2 team to open the tournament by 3 points. Was the ranking wrong, first of all, and does that need to change?
Well, clearly the ranking was wrong because the team was that good in their other games, clobbering other teams. ASAA doesn't do a great job on the rankings because you have to play the number 1 or number 2 ranked team to get ranked. Now, I don't know how they do it for rugby, but I know that happens in basketball and volleyball. Unfortunate for them.
And I've also heard that they go by the provincial ranking they had the year before. So the comp has always been 7th or 8th.
Well, that makes less sense.
It makes absolutely less sense. This system is archaic. It needs to change. I'm not here to tell them how it needs to change, but it's got to change.
I agree.
It's not right. What doesn't need to change is Alexander Ovechkin's antics post-championship. It is incredible, Kinger. I need to know if you feel the same way about it.
I'm fired up about it. I love watching every second. I think it's great for hockey. I think it's great for non-hockey fans. Ovi, you do you, because it is great for the game.
He's been drunk for a week straight. Drunk for a week straight. It is amazing. And this is the kind of stuff, you've mentioned it before about the bad in social media.
Yeah.
This is the great about social media. We all get a front row seat to his post-championship celebrations. It's great for sports. Sports, not just hockey.
Yeah.
This is great for sports.
It shows the celebration of what it means to win a championship.
What it's doing, it's humanizing guys and women, not in this case not women, but it's humanizing people who you don't necessarily see in this particular fashion.
Yeah, and I think it's awesome because everyone would feel that way if they won the Stanley Cup.
It's amazing stuff, and that is coming up in the Gloves Are Off with a lot more content from Kinger, Chris, and myself tonight at 7 o'clock on CITL.